Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I welcome you all on this YouTube platform and I hope that you all are doing really well. So in this particular video, what are we going to deal with? We are going to start talking about what is research. So basically, this particular topic will be dealt by me in two parts, where we are first of all going to talk about the objectives, etc. What is research? Why do we need to know the basics about it? Now, one thing which is important to take care of or take a note of is that whenever you are appearing for an examination such as UGC NET, you know that there's paper 1, correct? So we have multiple units, 10 units are there, out of which 5 questions from each and every unit are asked. So that's the general weightage which is there, correct? So the very first unit that we try to deal with in this particular paradigm of teaching and research aptitude, we deal with the unit which is known as research aptitude. Now, not just from the examination point of view, but in its entirety, we try to talk about PhD. If we try to talk about other entrance examinations as well, we do need to know about the basics, because aage chalke what you guys want to do is PhD. You guys want to be the ones who are going to be the assistant professor somewhere in a college or in a university. So for that matter, the other person sitting on the other side, the interviewer, wants to know that how much knowledge do you have about your particular subject, as well as if you do PhD, PhD comprises of research work only. You'll have to put your mind and soul into knowing things, bringing a new topic here and there, right? So first of all, talking about the basics here, we need to know कि research होती क्या है, what are the basic objectives and different characteristics of research which make it the word when we talk about research, right? So the very first slide that I have incorporated here is that what is research? The etymology of the word stands from the French origins, where we see that it's rechercher. It's pronounced as rechercher. The word has its origin from the French, language. And when we see what is research, even if we try to break it into two different segregations, two different parts, we see that it is a mix. It is an amalgamation of two words like re and search. So re ka matlab kya hota hai? When we are doing something again and again, repeat, redo, you're doing something for the second and the third, the fourth time. Same is the case with research, which is divided into two parts, where you are researching, when you are doing the research for the second or the multiple times, so on and so forth. Correct? It is a logical and systematic search for new and useful information. Let's just say, अगर अभी तक COVID की कोई vaccination नहीं बनी होती, and we would all be still be the ones who are, with that particular disease, with that particular, in the particular pandemic and all, what would have happened if there would have been no solution to that matter, right? So that particular, the useful information which is created, which is sought by the person who is doing research, in this case, in COVID's case, it's the, doctors and the scientists who have done that, correct? So basically, it's about, and you're doing things logically and systematically. ऐसा नहीं है that you are just moving from step 1 to step 5. Or step 5 to 4, ऐसे नहीं चल रहे हो. You're moving in a particular direction systematically and with some reason, with some logic in your mind, correct? Then, what is research? The information that you're going to collect for this particular purpose of doing research. आपको thesis लिखना है, you want to write your PhD papers, you want to write your dissertations, but how are you going to collect? What will be the various sources from where you can get the information? So you can ask people out, or you can take interviews. The interviews can happen over mail, the interviews can happen personally, right? You can read journals, you can read books, you can observe nature, you can also experience certain things, and in the upcoming videos we'll also be talking about certain things which are related to experience and all when we try to talk about research, correct? So it is a contribution to the existing knowledge. You must have had something before, only then you are doing a research on that. You would have read a particular book, right? Something sparked your interest. You are going to write a research paper on that. You can read some other research papers, so on and so forth. So the knowledge is already existing there. You're just adding something new to it, right? So you are discovering the undiscovered by bringing something forward, by bringing something new to the table, if I would give it the term, correct? It's an original contribution. It's the pursuit of truth with the help of study. You're going to study, you're going to observe, you're going to do comparison, and you're going to experiment as well. That will vary, of course, according to the type of research that you are going to deal with. So we have multiple types of research, which we gradually will be dealing in the upcoming videos as I am telling you guys about this thing. So basically, आप पढ़ते हो, you observe things around you. You can gain nature through, you can gain multiple material and information from the nature around you. In short, it is the search for knowledge through objective and systematic method. Now here, objectivity, we are also going to talk about it in the context of a various, a very important concept, characteristic of research. Objectivity is something where you need not be biased. You need to be a person who is viewing things from an objective point of view and not letting your point of views come in between. Correct? So, what are the objectives of research? The objectives here are incorporated. You are supposed to investigate some existing situation. So, in the case of COVID, as I gave you the example, उस point of time पे you wanted to investigate that what's the reason for this particular disease and pandemic. Build new methods and framework. The doctors and scientists started, putting their heart and soul in creating medicines for us. Correct? Gain familiarity with a new phenomena or develop new insight in a phenomena. So you might get some idea that would be already pre-existing. You might create something new, but you will gain familiarity with both the things. To identify the cause and effect relationship, because you want to know what caused the particular thing to happen the way it did. What caused COVID to spread so, efficiently in that matter, if I would say fastly, not efficiently, how COVID spread so fastly in different parts of the world, right? So all those things. The number one characteristic is objectivity, where I have tried to give you a brief definition that you do not need to be biased. You are a person, you are viewing the world, you are doing research, and if you will pop your opinions up in that particular research, you're going to be biased. We do not need that biasness in our research. Hence, the research should be always objective in its nature. Records of information should be kept because you want to check, or if anybody in the upcoming times asks you certain questions about your research, you will have the evidence along with you. One should be open to criticism because not always, if you might develop something, the new person, the next person can develop something new as well. So you should be open to criticism. Not each and every person on this earth is going to like you, correct? Data should be collected uniformly so that there is no skewness. बीच में कहीं से data अगर मैं, if I want to know the, level of how much the people in my class, how many students in my class, they know about HIV/AIDS. So if I'm going to ask 5 boys, I need to ask 5 girls as well to maintain that uniformity and balance between the data collection. Then we have reliability. What do we really understand by the word reliability here is when you are relying, when you are trusting something. Now, some person is going to come, read your research paper, but have you supported it with some kind of evidence which is going to make this particular research paper evident, in that particular matter कि वो accurately है, and that too, the other person who's reading, they can rely on your paper. They can cite your paper in their research paper as well. So you need to open your minds to that. The more the similarity of results, let's just say if I'm dropping one thing down here, because this example would be repeated in the upcoming slides. If I'm dropping something down on the floor, the other person also comes and drops the other thing. We know that the theory of gravitational pull is there. That's why the things are being dropped. So the results are similar even if I ask 10 people to drop different items, correct? So the more the similarity, the more the reliability would be there. Then we have validity, where you need to see how much accurately the tools that you are using, वो उसी चीज को measure कर रहे हैं जिस चीज के लिए वो, the research is being done. Correct? Accuracy of procedures, research instruments, tests, etc. And it should also be unbiased. You need not put your point of views here as well. Free from any systematic error. Let's just say if I would want my weight to be measured by a measuring tape rather than a weighing machine, would that work? That would not work, because the weighing machine is going to weigh my weight. Right? And that too, it should not have any systematic error. उस machine में कोई खराबी नहीं होनी चाहिए. No fault should be there in the machine. Only then I can say that whatever I have measured, वो accurate है. Correct? So reliability is the extent to which outcomes are consistent. Time and again, the same thing is being repeated. So you can rely on that. The more the similarity, the more the reliability. When we talk about validity, on the other hand, it is the extent to which the instruments and tools that you are using, the procedures that you are using, they are measuring exactly what you want them to measure. If I would want how much is my waist in inches, I would use a measurement tape. And for my weighing purposes, I will use a weighing machine. Correct? Then we have accuracy, that is closely related with validity. We have talked about validity here, but how accurately, the degree to which research processes and tools are related to each other. As I gave you the example, that's why I have written it here, that accuracy is closely related with validity with very minute difference. Here you see the relationship between the person who is doing the procedure and the thing which is there. Best tool selection is done under accuracy. Then we have credibility. The word itself is suggesting that how much your research is credible, how much is it authentic and all. So the use of best source of information, if one article has been cited multiple times by different scholars and all, you are reading it, the other people are also doing that, and you see that it is published in a very reputed journal, it means that particular thing is credible in its nature. Correct? Use of secondary and primary sources. Secondary sources are second-hand sources. Let's just say if I'm reading a novel, it has been written by a particular author. So that's a secondary source because I'm referring to that book. But if I'm writing a book, right, that would be a primary source. Correct? Proper usage of these primary and secondary sources comes under credibility, because आपको पता होना चाहिए that whatever you are reading, whatever you are citing in your research paper is the one which is authentic in its nature. Credibility, authenticity के साथ related है. Correct? Is the research trustworthy? These are the questions that you should be asking your own self. Is the research believable? Are the researchers' conclusions supported by the research findings? Whatever you have put as the evidence, वो जो आप cite कर रहे हो उसके साथ, is it going along with that or not? Then we have generalization. Whatever through your particular audience, हम samples collect करते हैं in research, application from particular to general. Let's just say the COVID vaccination was first of all tested on a group of 5 people. Then from that particular 5 people group, I started giving medicines to 10 people, then 20 people, so on and so forth. So because of the fact that the results turned out to be the ones जिसमें वो better हो रहे हैं, they are not having COVID-19 anymore. That's why I generalized the medicines. That's why I made the medicines available in general chemical जो chemist वाली shops होती है वहाँ पे, right? Pharmacist पे. Data of sample can be applied to the whole population. Let's just say if I am going to feed this dog pedigree, and if I'm also feeding the other 5 breeds the same thing, they are going to eat it, because I thought that yes, of course, and I found out that this dog likes it. Maybe the other, breeds under this particular name of a dog, like they are going to like it. Correct? So a generalization is a broad statement about what a group of people or things have in common, right? So they have in common is that all of them are dogs, but their breeds do differ. Their traits are same, but their breeds do differ as well. They do like the same type of food, so on and so forth. So these were the 6 major characteristics that we were supposed to cover in this particular video, and I hope things are clear. If you have any doubts, you can drop it in the comment section below. I will surely try to reply. Thank you so much and have a good day.